Moment to consider the impact of losing your current cell phone number. This is said to be the inconvenience that an increasing number of South Africans have experienced recently. It's called SIM card recycling in the telecoms industry, and the process of network providers deactivating users' numbers and reassigning them to someone else incorrectly is becoming increasingly evident. Let's unpack this now with Robert van Breukelen, Chief Operating Officer at Itemate, which is a software solutions company. Robert, good afternoon. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for joining us. SIM card recycling might sound like some good thing that must happen because recycling is supposed to save our environment. But in this case, it's causing problems. Tell us why.
Afternoon, Dan. Thanks for having me on your show. Yes, so what people need to understand is that numbers, MSISDNs, as we call them in the industry, are loaned from the regulator. So telcos like MTN and Vodacom loan these numbers and they pay a fee for them, and then they pass them on to their customers in the form of SIM cards. When numbers are not being used for a period of time, they want to recycle them, obviously saving money instead of having to acquire more numbers and at a cost. Now, traditionally, numbers are recycled after 3 months of no activity, that is calls, SMSs. However, as we move with telcos into the financial services sector, offering mobile money, banking, loans, insurance, and such, people are moving away from purely using their SIM cards for voice and SMSs. And telcos haven't kept up with this in terms of their number management and their recycling. So what could happen is somebody has a Vodacom SIM, which they use for voice because of preferential rates, and they use a MTN SIM for their mobile money. Now, they will never use that mobile money, the MTN SIM or number for a call. So I'm not going to diss MTN. The telco would then see this number as being not being used and want to recycle it.
Okay, so is that where the error happens? Is that why we say then it's like a mistake somehow?
Yes, they haven't taken full account of everything that could possibly be linked to that SIM and have therefore recycled. Now, in that scenario I was mentioning, the person who has this number that with a mobile money account, their number becomes inactive and they cannot access the mobile money. That number is attached to a new SIM, sold to a new customer. That person puts in their phone and hey presto, they've got a mobile money account with money in it. Chances are they're going to spend it. And now you've got a disgruntled customer coming to the telco wanting money, and another customer who's gone off and spent the money. Now, the telco needs to reimburse the person who's lost that mobile money, and chances are they're not going to be able to reclaim that from the person who has spent it. So that is one scenario. And there are numerous others in terms of loans being passed to users. So, sorry, go for it.
No problem, Robert. Sorry to cut in there. Yeah, we'll talk about other scenarios. This money one is very fascinating. So if you've got mobile money app on your phone and the number is then being recycled by the cell phone provider, it moves. Your account moves with a new SIM card where the new number will be allocated.
Correct, because the mobile money account is linked to the MSISDN, which is your cell number, and that would be moved to a new SIM card and to a new customer.
So the risk then will also apply to other apps that you may have on that phone you were using for mobile money because you thought it was safe for you to isolate it and just ring fence it for that kind of transaction.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah. So how prevalent is this, Robert?
It is fairly prevalent. And I'm not saying the specific case around mobile money, but recycling is very common and not necessarily done that well by certain telcos within Africa. You know, there are people still using feature phones with, as I mentioned, different SIMs for different functions. In the prepaid market, somebody loses their SIM. Instead of doing a SIM swap, they might just go and buy a new prepaid SIM as it's easier. So these numbers are needing to be recycled, and it's fully understandable, the logic behind it. Unfortunately, the telcos, as I said earlier, don't take into account all the potential applications linked to the number. And that's where we have brought in a solution to safeguard both the and the consumer. Because you need to understand, there are countries where the regulations in Malawi is that you cannot recycle a number with a mobile money account linked to it unless the mobile money account has been inactive for a year.
And that's in Malawi, you said? It's in Malawi?
In Malawi, correct.
And
correct.
Would you want to see the same happen here?
Yes, potentially, yes. And understand the telcos need to protect themselves as well. They are soft targets for governments. Rightly or wrongly, they are found on numerous occasions. I think the telcos are seen as a soft target for taxing. So they need to be a lot more thorough about their recycling, their SIM management and their recycling, particularly as they move into the banking space and financial services space.
So what would you advise are the key steps for them to take as telcos here to protect both themselves and you and I as users of their services?
Okay, I'm going to be a little bit biased because here at Itemate Solutions, we have a very robust product which has been implemented at a number of telcos in Africa. Our solution sits within the telco and we get a dump, a file of every single number within the telco. We integrate into all the periphery apps, be it mobile money, their loans, the postpaid platform, and we create a map of every single application linked to a SIM. We have also got a rules engine where the recycle criteria is configured, and only once all criteria is met do we generate a list of numbers that are available for recycling. So we will check, has a call been made in the last 3 months? Yes or no? No. Is there a mobile money account? Yes. Has it got a positive balance? Yes. Cannot be recycled. Has it got a zero balance? Yes. Okay. Is eligible for recycling. We generate automated SMSs notifying the SIM or the user of the SIM, if there is still a user attached to it, that the number has been flagged for recycling. And after all the criteria that has been configured and the notification been sent, then that number is ready to be added to a pool, goes off to the SIM manufacturer, and will be recycled and come back into the system.
So basically what you have is a solution that assists telcos to know whether or not a number that's not in use in one way, whether it should be recycled or not. And when you pick up that number is engaged in money mobile apps or banking apps, then you say, please do not recycle this number.
100%. And it is a fully automated process. There's no manual intervention, no human error.
Okay.
So, yes, 100%.
Well, thank you very much for sharing some of your insights and experiences as Itemate. That's the Chief Operating Officer of Itemate, Robert Breukelen, and they are a software solutions company. Yeah, if you didn't know, your number might get recycled if you're only using it for certain things, and for a long time you're not SMSing or using it to make calls. The telcos are supposed by law to make sure that the numbers that they've assigned, that they've allocated, are actually in activity. But there are risks to your SIM card number being recycled.